All right, so this is huge, man. Like, this is a huge game. Like, if Uzi loses this game, it is a massive upset. We've got Persians for Kamigawa and then Japanese for Uzi. I like both these civs a lot. For Japanese, I think they're the better civ here. But I think the key difference with all the bonuses that you might talk about with these civs is that Persians feel like impossible to take off of water. And that's because their docks have extra HP. Also, shout out to that one time I was casting with MBL a couple years ago, and I said those words while I was casting, and MBL, who had been playing the game probably, I don't know, for 15,000 hours up to that point, said, "What? I thought it was just their TCs have extra HP." So every time I say that about Persians, I just go back to the fact that MBL didn't know that. But yeah, so 3,600 HP on a dock means if you get your dock up on their pond, sure, their fishing ships are really strong because they're Japanese. That's great. But it's like so much harder to take out their dock. We'll see how it goes. Another thing to talk about here is wall potential towards the water. Normally, with the script that we use, it shouldn't be very possible. But like here, for example, if you're worried about someone sneaking onto your pond, you could eventually just wall this way. And I think there's an invitation for Kamigawa to do that because he sees enough openings there. But also the wood lines. I think I would prefer Japanese. I also think I'd prefer Japanese largely because their pikeman line tacks faster and Persians go into knights a lot. I just find Persians more awkward to play. But I don't think Persians are bad. I think Japanese they also suit the type of player that I think is the more talented player in the game because of all the tiny things you can take advantage of. The cheaper lumber camps, mills, mining camps, that allows you to like squeeze in a couple more military units, slightly faster barracks, slightly faster archery range, which the higher ranked player is normally able to take advantage of more. But yes, Kamigawa lost game 1. He didn't look bad, but obviously he got smashed. Game 2, he recovered super nicely on his home map. I'm excited to see how it goes. And we have more casts coming up later. C-Bomb said something along the lines of T90. I'm not going to be able to catch all this. Is it going to be on extras later? Yes. I have to talk with Hardy about it to like get our schedule figured out because we're basically back in spam content to extras mode for the next month and a half. So things might be delayed for a couple days, but the goal is to get a lot of sets onto extras. So I actually think the extras channel won't have any gameplay footage or any farming sim or anything like that for the next month and a half. I'm always a little torn on that with the extras channel because like anytime you upload a video, you want people to have interest in it. But the extras channel is always nice because we could experiment with different things like farming sim. But if I'm like in the midst of Titans League and we're putting a lot of the extra content there, I wouldn't want... Oh my god, the bird and the scout are going... Oh, they changed directions. Oh god, what did I... How did I go backwards? Okay, sorry. We gotta catch up to live time. But, yeah, I wouldn't want someone to be like, crap, this is disappointing. Okay, here comes a forward from Uzi. Dang, man. What's Kamigawa's scouting like? So he saw the TC. He has to assume the pond is being taken back there. But he's not... It doesn't look like he's really going to go try and be aggressive towards the pond. Looks like instead he's just looking to wall up here. And Uzi's going max aggression here. Let's see. This is the wall that we talked about earlier. This is something that is definitely going to be pursued by Uzi at some point. But we've got man-at-arms into a tower rush onto this wood line. Uzi could also easily snipe this villager. This is very hard for Kamigawa to pull off if the starting scout's here and you don't have your own scout to protect. Uzi might be a little... I think he's just waiting. I was going to say he might be a little confused because of the pathing on his villagers right now. Because if he clicked back here, his units would start to go this way. And anyways, he's just going to attack the house, and he's going to go for a tower that cannot be seen by Kamigawa. And Kamigawa's going to go for scouts. The scouts takes a lot of time, and when you're going to when this tower shows up, you're going to have to reposition a lot of vills, and you still need time. Wait for the scouts, and it's just pressure from the opponent. I like how both players are currently adding more fishing ships. And Cammy got the wall down that he wanted, but oh, the units can just go right through. It's a multi-purpose tower. And the thing is, you might even need to make a galley right now if you're Kamigawa. It's not so much the units getting in this way, because he's going to protect from that, but it's the fact that he can dock your pond now. That's really unfortunate. And you could sell. That's exactly what Uzi's going to go for. As we see a tower here to stop from future towers going up. Uzi doesn't even care. Unbeknownst to Kamigawa, and the galley's too late, by the way. The dock's going to go up, and the galley needs to be canceled here. Oh, panic! Oh, this is so awkward. Anyways, he did cancel it. He's going to make fire galleys. But yeah, amazing play from Uzi so far. Now, let's look back at home for Uzi. See what his eco looks like. Looks like he's going to send a Vil this way to dock. And he's sending a Vil to the north to dock. And he's already fishing continuously at home. He added more fishing ships than his opponent did. Well, the scouts need to counterattack, man. These scouts need to kill villagers now, then. And that's going to be the problem for... that's going to be the issue for Uzi, because his barracks is in the middle of the map. He can't actually make spearmen. Might actually be worth it for Kamigawa. He might debate on coming back just to clear this right now. Because there's no guarantee he'll do damage here. But he's committed, guys. This is really good. Where would the spearmen go? Uzi's going to send the spearmen home. And Uzi noticed it. But he'll lose this Vil. Most likely, unless he's an absolute quick wall genius, he will lose this Vil. But he doesn't care. He's just going to use this time to wall up everything else. Oh, okay. Quick walls over here from Kamigawa. Range being added. By the way, the water's still a factor here. Fishing ships have been working for Kamigawa, which is a positive. There's a dock that will go up in the north, but the wood's not there yet. Scouts were thinking about checking for it. And then down here, you've got fishing ships from Uzi. I think Uzi's in the better spot. He's fishing more. He's got so much more food eco. And also, Uzi finds a position to be able to kill another villager here. So he's threatened the pond. He's taken 3 ponds. There's nothing worse than investing into the pond that you should have in the first place. That's the way I explain it. Oh, man. And beautiful blocking. Oh, and the scouts got to come back home now. Which is the right play from Kamigawa. He won't lose any more villagers, but big investment into feudal age. And so little investment into the long term. So, I mean, you've got a range. You've been on stone for a while. I would actually like to see a couple skirmishers with the scouts and actually sending vills forward to make it messy and tower your opponent. Also, with all the food income for Uzi, the natural move now for me is scouts. Look at that. I like how he even has the vills here still to repair. For some reason, they won't repair. Oh, wow. What happened there? That was weird. Really good for Kamigawa, that one. Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, the scouts might actually come over here. Hold on a moment. Kamigawa says, I'm not finished yet, dude. And all the walls also just create this one tile gap that makes it so awkward for the villagers to go through. And Uzi reacted late. Now, at least kill 2 here. At least kill 2. Okay, kills 2, and then the tower could go down, obviously. We're going to see a stable, an archer range at home for Uzi. Resources collected. What's it looking like? Much better for... Well, a little bit better for Kamigawa. With 11 fishing ships versus 5, I expected it to be a little different than that. Always disappointing when you know your opponent's just going to add some spearmen here, though. But Uzi only has 1. What a great game here. So I was saying it, in the break. Really shows how good players can be even if they don't have elo. Like, even if they don't have the same level of elo. Because as these villagers survived... Great job. He actually tossed a tower inside the spearmen, too. In hindsight, probably should have just left the villagers go. But, like, Kamigawa was 250, 300 elo. below Uzi in his peak, but also what he has right now. And yet, best of threes give that opportunity for you. Some players are more suited towards tournaments than others, but I really believe in Uzi as a player. Like, I truthfully believe this guy was one of the favorites, like I said, to win and get into gold. So, okay. Villager attacking. Scouts are there. And it's going to be double dock from Uzi. Now, let me check resources collected. Still very surprised. I guess it's like the food that I'm expecting to jump up. Uzi's got the slightly better structure to go castle. Plus, he's got 3 pawns. Like, that's definitely going to matter in the long run. All that extra stone for Kamigawa isn't helping him right now. But it could help him. Over here, this dock will just sit here forever because it's Persians. And this villager needs to get a dock down. If this villager gets a dock down and Kamigawa clicks up, Kamigawa can take this game. I'd like to see, with that much stone, a couple defensive towers. Oh my goodness. Kamigawa's up. Uzi's going to have archers, though. This is a great game, man. Does Kamigawa know about the archers? Whew. Get out of here. Get out of here, Kench. Kamigawa's more focused on the pawns. He doesn't know about the archers, so that's a real possibility for Uzi. Who might want to consider mining a teensy bit of stone. So, any other dock? And this thing's like halfway down, it feels like, right? But now, Kamigawa can wait till he gets the next fire galley. He can add a demo in here, too. And then this is the most important area because Uzi outposted this side. He's actually sending vills this way. But yeah, he's outposted this side, thinking that Kamigawa would always come from this angle. So these fishing ships will likely be cleared up with no defense from Uzi, which will mean he's going to lose 5 eco. Also, it's now 4 villagers. They're going to go over here. Kamigawa's hunting them down. He's confused. He's like, who built that then? He also doesn't see anything in the tower anymore. Archers have moved out, and archers are killing the vills, and this is left unchecked. And that's going to be a couple villagers down. That's 3 villagers lost. Positive for Kamigawa is there's no holes. Positive for Kamigawa is he's still got this dock. Typically, what you do is you research War Galley at home. And oh, this is going to be perfect, actually. I don't know if he can wait 30 seconds. He might be able to. Yeah, he might win the north there as well. Also, he can win this too. He can kill all these fishing ships. He just needs to not die from the crossbows, and he's going to dominate the water. Where are the crossbows, by the way? The crossbows... Crossbows? Oh, they're here. This is Persians, guys. This is why Persians are insane. Watch this. I don't know where he's going to pop out first. Boom, see ya. Say goodbye to everything. How are you going to compete with that? So, Uzi's probably thinking, well, it's fine. I've got good land pressure. So, this isn't that big of a deal. He's actually going to go cav archers, so that'll be fun. But what he's not realizing is that he's going to lose his fish everywhere else. He thought, I've got 2 ponds. In reality, he's losing every single pond because Kamigawa is hitting all the proper spots with those docks. What a great game from Kamigawa. Again, he's like a player who used to be seen as a pro. Doesn't play in tourneys much anymore. You know, never really committed full time, but has been around the game for a super long time. And look at that Eco KD now, guys. It's only going to get worse for Uzi. And he doesn't have farms. He doesn't have food eco. He can't produce villagers now. So he has to go all in. And it's got to be wood and gold, and it's going to have to be archers. So for Kamigawa, he needs the siege to come out fast, and he needs the siege to trade against these archers. He hit all 3 pawns. Yes, all 3 pawns simultaneously. That was disgusting. And 2 of the pawns that he hit, his opponent never expected. And you're kind of too far gone at this point, by the way, to fight back on water. It's just not going to be possible. So you just have to give up on it if you're Uzi. And I think, like, what's he have? 2 ranges right now? He needs 4. And he needs a siege workshop, and it just got to be crazy pressure because he's just going to be outboomed from here. He's got to somehow force the issue. Great shots there from Kamigawa as he's fortifying up. Feel like this might actually be a shot for Uzi. He could take out the palisade and run through, possibly. Feels like there's maybe a hole there. Uzi selling wood and buying food just to produce a few vills. No horse collar either, so his farms won't last very long. Kamigawa is kind of like stuck. And he doesn't actually have the best food eco for a guy with the ponds. Probably could do with adding a few fishing ships in the ponds that he's won. Just like 2 in each would be really nice. And then switch to farms. But he's got siege everywhere. He's like, what are you going to do to break me right now? This is awesome. I feel really bad for Uzi. But I mean, it's not over yet. He is 3 TCs. And the big question now for Kamigawa is, how do you move out? Because you can't move out with just siege. It doesn't look like he really feels like he wants to move out just yet. It's just macro behind these walls. And Uzi's able to get a couple things done with this time. He could snag relics. He's taking some of this extra gold, which might become an issue. Keep in mind, this gold and this gold, all exposed. They're Kamigawa's. He's working off of 1 gold right now. I'd said maybe there's a chance you get in through this palisade wall. I'm not certain. We've got a tower here. And okay, Uzi. He's also going to go for a siege workshop. The negative for Kamigawa is the fact that he has no knights, no army presence. And he's going to fix that now by adding stables. Okay. Eco's looking better now for Uzi. His army presence is still there. And with a couple siege shots, anything can happen. But this should be where the eco starts to look a lot better for Kamigawa with the food count. And that should lead to upgrades with stable units behind. Also, the fact he's been able to get by with some of the stone has been really helpful. Is not pulled off of it yet, but now he does. And he might not even lose a villager there. He knows he needs to push back soon. And obviously, Uzi needs to continue to push. Now, I think the great equalizer here is going to be the monks. Uzi might be getting relics right now, but if he had the monks with his siege, it becomes a different situation. In fact, redemption as well could actually be pretty good to convert the siege from Kamigawa. And he's also building up stone here, so Kamigawa needs those numbers fast. Might even be worth idling his town centers for just a minute or two so he can have all his resources dedicated towards army. Not something you think of when you're under pressure, though. You're just constantly producing vills all the time. Uzi, you gotta go redemption here. At the very least, Sanctity Seer monks have more HP, but I think it's all worth it. Chain barding armor now for the knights that are going to be coming out. You don't even have bloodlines on your cav archers, and you don't have many of them. I think it's going to come down to the conversions. If the monks were in here, Kamigawa would 100% engage. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, guys. This is such a great game. Great job from Kamigawa to get to the winning position, but a great job from Uzi to keep the pressure on. His eco was a disaster moments ago. And he's bringing villagers forward. He's going to try and deny these golds long term. The knights are being massed. Oh, geez. Everything matters. The siege shots need to connect. There's Sanctity, by the way. There's Bloodlines, too. So the Cav Archers will have more HP. This is such an intense moment. For it to be the final game in the series. There's no recovering from this. And Kamigawa loses his Mangonel. You also have the crossbows over here, which are going to be a nice annoyance while the main push continues. Oh, man. This is intense. Another amazing shot from Uzi. So now he doesn't have to worry about his ranged units getting hit by the siege. He's taken that out of the picture. Wow, what a recovery. Uzi's going to lose these crossbows first, most likely. But now he knows. Like, he absolutely knows that the push is going to come because he's starting to see the stables and the knights. Oh, boy. He's got to be patient. There's going to be the castle, by the way. Triple barracks. He wants to switch to pikes. I think Kamigawa's in trouble, guys. He needs to fight this soon. I don't know. Can he do it? Can he do it? The conversions are going to make a big difference here. The siege won't matter so much anymore. This is obviously something we'll pay attention to a little bit too. And look at all the yellow dots and look at all the conversions there from Uzi. In the end, though, Kamigawa's got a lot of knights. They are Persian knights, so they pack a bit more of an attack against archers. And he's going to take the hill. But look at this castle spot. I think I would have gone for the castle here, and it would be denied right now. And then there'd be big problems. Castle might actually end up going up. Kamigawa, can he actually stop pikemen now? What a ridiculous game. 83 eco versus 75. Cav archers will pull back to the castle. Pikeman upgrade will be in. So it's going to be, I don't want to say easy for Uzi to defend, but pretty reasonable. He'll have cav archers. He'll have some pikes. He'll have some monks. For Kamigawa, it's now attack mode and trying to shift out to this extra gold, which he's currently doing. Oh, boy. Here he goes. He needs to continue to try and raid. He hasn't been able to expand much. Here he is on the workshop. That's going to be an area he needs to run from, but he's microing this. Lost some knights there. And lost a knight there as well. The army count is just so much higher for Uzi. And he's got so much vision and so much control. And I think he's going to notice this. How sick would it be if he denies this? Can he select each villager? No. He can't deny it. But he can target it next. Those villagers need to be clicked right now if you're Kamigawa. Kamigawa! No, it's a 99%! Get it up! Disaster! Disaster! What an epic comeback here from Uzi! And you know he's got to be feeling the pressure, too. He's probably like, Kamigawa? I haven't played this guy on ladder in like 3 years. Of course I'm going to beat this guy. Oh, man. But, I mean, now, with all this gold control, Uzi, it feels like he's got so much potential. He has probably the better economy at this point. The knights that he's converted can just run right into the eco. There's nothing to really stop these cav archers from doing so either. That's because Kamigawa had to look over here to complete the TC. And Uzi, if he were to use the market, could go up to imp behind this. And with having the castle, would probably win this game with that. Keep in mind, score, a lot of that does have to do with there being Navy on the field right now. You've got 12 ships for Kamigawa. Those ships are not contributing anything to him right now. And even if you lose these cav archers, I think this raid is more than worth it. It allows you to control the rest of the game and the rest of the map. And, oh, he's even going to try and get away here. And, ooh. Okay, he's kind of trapped, but the position kind of helps him too because the knights can't surround. By the way, Uzi, do you need gold? Can you share some gold with somebody else, man? You greedy guy. Like 3,000 gold right now. Yeah, like I said, this actually helps the cav archers a little bit. You might consider it a trap, but the cav archers can stack. And there goes Uzi to the Imperial Age. I think Kamigawa's dead at this point. This is an incredible game. So I'm going to tell you right now, YouTube, you're going to see this one. This was the final game in a best of 3 in my Titans League silver bracket. Players are looking to move on to the vacant spots from gold and a promotion relegation system. I hope you enjoyed this game, because this game has been sick. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Kamigawa can bring this back. What a heartbreaker it is for him, too, because he did everything well to get the pawns. But it just was a little too defensive, and the knights needed to come out a little faster, I think. But also, Uzi had to do so much. He had 2 amazing Mangonel trades. They made a big difference. If it would have been the other way around, the cav archers and the monks would have been pushed back faster. He added his own monks and got lots of, almost a conversion with every single monk. And he's had to recover his economy. This guy doesn't even have horse color yet. So these farms are reseeding all the time. But he had really good vision on the golds, right? Really good vision in general this game. He found this gold too. He's on this gold now too. So he knows where all those golds are. And he's not going to let up. And I think for Kamigawa, actually, well, I'm going to assume the GG was called. Because this is live. And the game is speeding up. We had a spec delay. And do I have it on fast forward? Yeah, I have it on fast forward. So I'm going to assume he calls it GG when he sees him. And yeah, he does. Kamigawa, a great game and a great series. Something to be proud of for a guy who doesn't play as frequently as he used to. Obviously bummed for the guy because I loved the underdog story that we kind of had flowing there for a bit. But that was a treat of a cross game right there. 94 to 93 KD. Look at how many stats are similar here. This is close, this is close, this is close, and value is also really close. And Kamigawa collected more res. You know, I think the thing of it is just purely the position they were able to gain. Back to what I said, though, when the initial push came in here, if Uzi would have tried to make the castle here, he would have lost all the vills. It would have been a waste of stone, and he probably then loses the game because Kamigawa can actually run through the middle with everything. I mean, it was such a fun one. Like, I can't blame Kamigawa once he got the fishing ships from his opponent to sit back a little bit. We clearly saw how many villagers he had, but I think he maybe overboomed a little bit for a player who didn't have access to a second gold. And tricky stuff. Skirms are tricky, Sophie, too, because of timing. Like, it's really hard to get full upgrades with knights, produce knights out of all those stables, with the siege, too, which you kind of needed, and also the villagers out of the TC, and go into skirms, because then you need 3 ranges, then you also, like, have less space, then you need ballistics, then you need all those blacksmith upgrades. So it's more of a time thing. So, yes, like, skirmishers now would be really good against cav archers and pikemen, but it was very much a situation where knights did the job to push it back. He just didn't get to push it back in time. I think what actually would have been really good is Scorpions. Like, Knight Scorpion makes a lot more sense than Skirm for me because it's less time investment and it kind of does a similar job. But, you know, there's so many deep layers of complexities to it because he will have known he just converted Knights from me. If I make Scorpions, my siege gets picked off. And that's a thing, right? I think Uzi had like 3 or 4 Knights at that stage. That was a ridiculous game. Like, real ice vein stuff from Uzi, though, to come back from that. Worst case scenario for him was losing all of his fish. There's the Japanese. He didn't have a single fishing ship at the end, and he got it done. Just crazy stuff. GG. Well played. Hope people enjoyed watching that. Love to see names like this competing and moving on. And I'll be looking out for Uzi in the future, man. Still one of my favorites to possibly get in through gold with how he's playing. And the next rounds for him are going to be best of 5s, which means it's like less brutal in terms of upset potential because now you need to win 3 games. And, you know, like let's say, you know, this was the best of 5. Kamigawa wins this game. I would still say like Uzi is probably my favorite because there's more opportunities and chances for him. Anyways, great stuff.